Mike's.
Jersey Mike's, baby.
Guy loves New Jersey, man.
Nobody loves New Jersey. People are just stuck in New Jersey.
And they're all Mets fans.
But they lost their basketball team.
Dude, 99% of people from Jersey are Mets fans.
Yeah, I know. Who else would they be a fan of as far as baseball goes? Phillies? Yankees? What about the Phillies?
A lot of them are Philly fans.
Yeah. Southern Jersey, they're Philly fans. Northern Jersey, they're Central Jersey, they're Mets fans. And Northern Jersey, they're Yankees fans. No, Southern Jersey, they're Philly fans. Central Jersey, they're Mets fans. And Northern Jersey, they're Yankee fans. I think that's it. I think that's how it works.
Pretty much.
I think that's the story. So what's new, man? What's good?
It's good, man. Just been watching a lot of movies, working on a little bit of music here and there. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. You know, still grinding, still dealing with this pandemic. We're going on a year and 3 months. A year and 3 months.
A year and a month. I'd say 1 year, 1 month.
I thought it was longer than that.
Well, as far as I remember, March 12th has always been the date when Maryland said quarantine, shelter in place, lockdown, go. But
I'm talking about the whole pandemic in general.
People were talking about
virus came out.
People were talking about it in January. I mean, people were talking about it in December, January, February. They were talking about it, and there were like these concerns. But the fucking pandemic, I mean, the quarantine, the lockdown was March 12th. I remember that date.
But there's still countries on like serious, legitimate lockdown.
Yeah. Like
Peru's in legitimate lockdown.
Yeah. I mean,
like some of these third world countries are in like still in lockdown.
Yeah.
Where they're in shelter in place.
Right.
But it's letting up. It's letting up pretty substantially.
Yeah, I mean,
significantly, it's letting up. So I mean, a lot of people are getting hip to the vaccine now.
Getting hip to it. They're getting hip to it.
Yeah, first they were in denial.
Yeah.
They didn't want to get vaccinated, or they were totally against it. But now more people are getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be over by next year. I don't know if it's going to go back to the normal.
Normal? What the fuck is a normal?
A normal would be like
bars,
like outdoor concerts,
overpacked concerts.
Yeah, those sort of things.
Overcapacity, WWE wrestling shows where, Vince McMahon claims that there's 50,000 people there. There's really only 15,000 people there. But
yeah,
WWF was like notorious for lying about the attendance records. Notorious. Sold out Madison Square Gardens. And then it's like, it's just not. Now they got the Thunderdome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's where all their pay-per-views and matches are filmed now, is at the Thunderdome. Because that's what AEW started doing. AEW was just filmed at Daly's Place. It's a venue called Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. And every single AEW Dynamite, and I think every single pay-per-view, is filmed at Daly's Place. Like, they don't go anywhere else. No more traveling circus, nothing like that anymore.
I mean, even boxing had like a weird setup too, similar to the Thunderdome. When they were doing everything on pay-per-view and didn't have anybody in the.
But it was always at Caesar's Palace.
Audience.
Every fucking boxing match was at Caesar's Palace, though. for the last 15 years, maybe 20 years. Because boxing, like, who the fuck's watching boxing anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like, UFC travels around just like WWF does, and AEW did. Oh, WWF and AEW, like pro wrestling traveled around.
But now the big thing is Jake Paul. You know, he's got another boxing match. He's like a freak show.
Jake
You know,
Paul
he is taking over boxing realm.
is Joey.
Jake
So
Paul.
there's brothers, right? Jake Paul and Logan Paul,
Yeah.
and Jake Paul, I guess, is the younger brother.
I think he's a younger brother.
I think Jake Paul's the younger brother.
Dude, he's making a shit ton of money, man, with boxing.
He's not. Did he win any fights? Is he winning any fights?
Yeah, he just fought. He just fought in the car with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, he fought on the card.
He fought Nate Robinson.
But did he win?
Yeah, he knocked him out.
Jake Paul knocked him out.
Yeah.
No shit.
Jake Paul knocked the shit out of that dude.
Okay. But did he fight? Did he fight a seasoned? Did he fight a fresh fighter, a seasoned fighter, or like
that guy was like a That guy was like a basketball star. It was like I said.
It was a gimmick fight.
He's fighting these gimmick fights.
Right.
But now he wants to fight Mayweather.
But the point I'm trying to make is, like, pre-COVID, wrestling traveled. Wrestling was like a traveling circus. UFC is like traveling, and they would go overseas too. Like, and sometimes definitely WWE would go to Kuwait and Saudi Arabia and Germany and Britain. But boxing was always in Vegas, always at Caesar's Palace, maybe the MGM for the last 20 years.
Some of them would be in Atlantic City at other casinos, because now
What's
like
not the
I mean, not the main pay-per-views.
What's the, like, WBA, not the WBA heavyweight, what is it, WBA, World Boxing Association? Not the WBA heavyweight championship fight would not be in Atlantic City.
No, that would be, yeah, but I thought you were talking about like all boxing events.
Well, like, but again, you keep saying, but who the fuck has been watching boxing for the past 20 years? Nobody. Like, it's died off, bro. Like, it's like, I'm telling you, ever since Tyson lost, boxing's been like semi-garbage since like late 90s. Nobody's.
I mean, they've had a few good prospects. I wouldn't say that it's been complete, utterly garbage. But like the big heavyweights, you know, are long gone.
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, so
I mean, they still do have
Mayweather.
They still have a couple big name heavyweights, but
sure.
not
But
like,
Floyd Mayweather's a draw. But who else is a draw? I mean,
Canelo.
Jake Paul.
Canelo was a big draw. Triple G was a big draw. Like when Canelo fought Triple G, that was a huge fight. That made millions.
All right.
But there hasn't been anything there, but there hasn't been anything in recent other than this last fight that just happened with Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. You know, Jake Paul happened to be on that fight because he was a YouTube sensation, rap artist, and that's how he got in the game.
All right, good point.
Now he was provoking a fight with Conor McGregor, trying to get him into the ring.
Yeah, I mean, look at Conor McGregor. Like, Conor McGregor went in the ring with Mayweather,
and now
it's all gimmick.
He's got a fight lined up with Ben Askren, which was like another UFC guy.
Jake Paul does
a boxing match.
Maybe you follow boxing more than I do, because I guess, you know, with Tyson, everybody followed. Shit, my mother followed boxing when Tyson was the reigning king. My mother doesn't even like, you know, violent, combative sports, and she even knew. But, like, I don't know. I never really followed it. I guess I was always into like the pro wrestling, and then the UFC popped up, and that was kind of, you know.
Canelo was a big, huge draw. Huge draw. I mean, he even fought Mayweather. I mean, he was probably the biggest draw other than Mayweather in recent years, other than Pacquiao. Like the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, like drew a ridiculous amount of money. It was insane. But now, I mean, Triple G's getting older, so I don't know how long he's going to stay in the game for.
Who's
He's
Triple
just going
G?
to retire.
What does Triple G stand for?
I couldn't even pronounce his name for you. He's from a different country.
Okay.
But he was a big name
Mm-hmm.
in boxing, and he fought for a long time. But him and Carnelo, I think they fought twice. But
I wish I knew more about boxing. I don't know shit about it.
yeah, it was a good fight.
AEW's blowing up though. Your boy Orange Cassidy. Your boy Orange Cassidy's going out for he's probably not going to go out for the tag team title with his stable best friends.
He should, man. I idolize that guy, dude.
But see, best friends. See, it's Orange Cassidy and best friends. So best friends consists of Trent and Chuck Taylor with Orange Cassidy and this new and not so new female wrestler Kate Statlander, the alien Kate Statlander. I was never a big fan of female wrestling, the women's division, but she's vicious. She's awesome. She's probably gonna so now there's 4 of them in best friends. There's Trent and Chuck Taylor with Orange Cassidy and Kate Statlander. I think Orange Cassidy at some point is gonna have to go out for the TNT title to start off. There's a big battle over the AEW championship with Kenny Omega and the Murder Hawk Lance Archer. I can't believe I know all these fucking names. But the Young Bucks.
No, that's crazy that you know all these young guys.
Hey, dude, yeah, man. Like the and then the Young Bucks, the tag champs, and I know.
Is Cody Rhodes in AEW?
Yeah, and his brother
Goldust.
Dustin Rhodes. He doesn't go by Goldust. He goes by the. No, he just goes by Dustin Rhodes.
So he quit that whole Goldust thing.
He quit the whole Goldust thing, but he's still doing the face paint thing, and he comes out with like different crazy ass, fucking face paint designs, and it looks phenomenal. It looks great. I mean, dude, he's actually probably in better shape now, and a better wrestler now than he ever was, and he's technically been in the business for 40 years. He's
got to be over 50.
Actually, I think he was. Yeah. I think Dustin Rhodes is probably over 50.
Because Cody's got to be like 35.
Cody's our age, if not a little younger.
Right.
Yeah. Cody's like our age. If not, I think Cody's younger. But
and he had a Stardust gimmick.
Stardust. Fucking Stardust. That was the worst gimmick. He ran with it.
Did you ever see that interview? Did you ever see that interview, Living the Gimmick?
No. Of who?
Of Cody Rhodes. No, it was just Cody Rhodes and that guy, Michael Kor. I think
Michael Cole.
Michael Cole. That's what his name is.
From
it was Michael Cole, and it was called Living the Gimmick. And he was just like talking about, how you get wrapped up in the gimmick and you start living it, because that's all you know. Like
right.
you become that character in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I
was just talking about
that's why it's called Living the Gimmick, because in actually Cody Rhodes is talking to him in the Stardust character. You know, he
Yeah.
doesn't go out of character during the whole interview. That's why it's called living the gimmick.
And I know I mentioned to you before, but also on this show, I've mentioned this other show on Vice called Dark Side of the Ring. Did you ever get a chance to check that out? Dark Side of the Ring. It's like
Yeah, I did.
so it's like those ID crime shows, but it's about the death or the incarceration or the fall and then rise again of various pro wrestlers. And it's produced in the vein of like those ID crime shows. But every other episode, what killed these wrestlers was that gimmick. No separation between the real Bruiser Brody and the gimmick Bruiser Brody. No separation between Rodney Toombs and Roddy Piper. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that is a good point because, probably Chris Benoit never got out of the gimmick.
that, well, no, what killed, well, no, that's a
It could
special
have.
case. What killed Benoit was CTE. What killed Benoit was CTE.
I know, but I'm saying he probably never got out of character too. You know what I'm saying? He
To an
probably
ex-
brought. I'm not saying that that's the reason of what happened. I'm just
no.
saying,
Well, no,
because the way that he portrayed himself in the ring, very aggressive, high tempered. You saw him in the ring.
yeah,
I don't have to explain this to you, but
yeah, but
you know what I'm talking about. To bring that home, to bring that attitude back to your home life.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but Benoit was a more specific case. That was CTE. His brain was rotting inside his brain. His brain was rotting inside of his skull. It was not necessarily, I mean, that might have a small part to it, but he was probably abusing drugs, abusing painkillers, abusing alcohol, abusing supplements and performance enhancing drugs, abusing all this other stuff because he couldn't grasp what was really eating away at him and causing him problems. But it was just work. I'm on top now. He was on top, dude. They gave him the belt. You know what I'm saying? They gave him the belt. And he was on top and he had to stay on top. But what he didn't know, what nobody else knew, was that he had a brain rotted down to like an 80-year-old. They did an autopsy on him. They looked at his brain, and his brain matched that of an 80-year-old. That's CTE. That's not living a gimmick. That's not drug abuse. That is concussion after concussion after concussion.
That's the same thing that happened with Junior Seau. He had concussion after concussion after concussion, and then he committed suicide.
Who was the football player that committed some homicides and then hung himself in prison? Hernandez. Jay Hernandez? Jay Hernandez?
Yeah, Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez. Same thing. CTE. Fucking starting in high school, bro. Maybe even middle school, junior high football. CTE. Like I'm gonna be a huge proponent of my kid not doing any concussive sports. No football, no lacrosse. Everybody talks about, there's concussions with what do they call it in soccer when you hit that ball with your head, like head bumps or head butts or whatever, head punts, whatever the fuck. So they even talk about concussions with that. So it's like, all right, steer clear of concussions, man. Baseball, basketball, frisbee, dominoes, roller skating, fucking rowing, but no, seriously.
Crew.
I mean, listen, there's no money in crew. There's money in baseball and basketball. But for me, the only reason why I did crew in high school is because the coaches weren't hassling me about grades. It was a rowing club. And my senior year of high school, that's when it became the crew team. And I was on the crew team as a senior, but I was garbage in grades. But that's the only reason why I was able to get on the team, is because they weren't caring about grades. My grades were shit. Freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. Like, oh my God. Complete and utter shit show of an education. Second I got to Towson, I started getting hands-on with cameras and editing software. GPA skyrocketed. Like, I want you to write an essay on your on the existential. Like, what? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Fail. D's sometimes, you know, C's get degrees and sometimes D's get degrees.
Depends if you're an athlete or not.
Right. And then you got tutors fucking doing your homework for you. Some tutors blowing them under the table and doing their homework for them. Boosters. What are you boosting? Boosting his libido. They got like, you remember, do you ever see the movie Johnny Be Good with Anthony Michael Hall?
Yeah.
Holy shit, bro. Like that movie.
God, that's a blast from the past.
Uma Thurman, like that was like Uma Thurman's second movie, I think.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. Everybody was looking for Johnny Be Good. Hey, Johnny, you sign up with that. You sign up with that school. Come over to Texas U. Come over to Texas Tech.
God, I haven't seen that movie in years.
Come over to Arizona U. Come over to Arizona Tech. Johnny Be Good. I just watched that like within the last year. I watched it during the quarantine from beginning to end, uncensored, you know, original. Because that used to pop up on HBO and like Channel 20 back in the day all the time. Channel 45 and 54 all the time. And then later on, you know, TNT maybe, or TBS, one of those, I don't know. But finally, like, sat down and watched it from beginning to end. Like, that movie was crazy. And I think he ended up going local, right? At the end, he went to like the local school so he could stay close to.
Yeah, because it was based on I think Louisiana.
Okay. Like his outfits in that movie, man. His all like, what was it, like skin tight jeans and that leather. Was it a leather jacket or was it a denim jacket? He had a dope outfit for the 80s. He was, yeah. Uma Thurman, man. Gosh, dang. Speaking of like super hot actresses when they started off, you remember a movie called Cuffs with Christian Slater? Mila Jovovich. Bro, Mila Jovovich in Cuffs is worth the watch. Like, oh, look who finally decided to join us. Should I wait till the very, very end and fuck with him, or should I just bring him on in? I'm just gonna bring him on in.
Just bring him on in, man.
Bring him on in. You know,
coming all the way from Jersey.
Speaking of Johnny Be Good, Sergeant Cuffs over here, Johnny Be Good, dating the Uma Thurmans,
Guys got some new artwork in the background, some new artworart.
Now that's what I'm talking about. That's my kind of background. Now that's my kind of background.
Where are you at an art gallery?
Yeah, the art gallery is called Mikasa, El Casa Su Casa.
How's Dirty Jurors, man?
It's cleaner than ever. We got,
Donnie cleaned it up, man.
Bullshit.
COVID cases are down.
Don,
I'm not saying it was me, but
Don, listen to Papa Don. I know when you're bullshitting me, Don, and there's no such thing as a clean jersey. There's no such place as a nice jersey.
Hey, you still got to have some schmuck. You still got to get some schmuck to pump your gas for you over there in Jersey.
Yeah, it's really tough, man. You pull up, somebody gets their gas pumped in their car. It's really rough out here, man.
Oh,
Really
it's horrible. Oh,
And then they
I
charge
can't
you
pump my own gas.
and then they charge you a service fee for that.
No,
Yeah, they do.
there is no service fee. That's a tip. It's called gratuity. It's a generous offering. There's no service charge, is there, for passengers?
I don't think anybody
I don't think
that. I'm pretty sure.
You better check your receipt next time, man. You're like, hold on, what the fuck?
We pay higher taxes.
I don't think so.
Dude, I think you pay for that service, man, for a guy to sit there and pump your gas.
I don't think there's a service charge. There's a tip.
I don't think you can tip anybody.
Of course you can tip. You can tip
But
anybody.
nobody's tipping that guy.
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Nobody in Jersey is tipping that guy.
Right. I'm not from Jersey. That's why I tip them. Oh, and then we lost them, and then we got them. Freaking Don. All right. So did you change your Wi-Fi provider or what?
No, I'm not sure why it's working, to be honest. I'm glad it is, though.
He's at the American Art Museum.
That's right. I'm at the Met. I'm at the gala. You know. How's it going, Robert De Niro? Yeah.
Oh God, here we go with the bullshit. It's bullshit.
He looks like he's in that movie We Are Your Friends.
We are your friends.
God.
So what's new, Darko? Man, that that Ethereum's going up. That Dogecoin's going up.
Oh my God! Yeah, the Doge father.
The Doge.
I thought you were gonna. I thought it was gonna go up to $1, man. It was a total bust.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's not a bust.
It's gonna probably.
No, he was like, "It's Doge Day, man. It's Doge Day."
Who said Doge Day?
He was hyping up Doge Day, like, dude, it's gonna go up to $1. Buy now, buy now, buy now. Donnie Dirko, he was sending me shit back and forth. He goes, it's Doge Day, bro.
It is
Doge Day. It's gonna be pandemonium. He was like, dude, invest. Dude, take out whatever you got, man. If you got 50 grand, put it on Doge right now. It's gonna go up to $1. And it was a total bust. Even the internet said, yeah, Doge Day was a complete bust.
That was 13 days ago, man.
That was 13 days ago.
You only had to wait 2 weeks.
Bro,
it's not like,
bro, Doge, you look at the fucking math, and it hasn't even been 4 fucking months. And Doge went from 0.007 to 0.2 to 0.02 to now 0.4, and then it went down to 0.2. So now it's 40 cents. Then it went down to 20 cents.
It's gonna go back down.
Now it's back up to 40. I'm sure it will go back down, but I'm sure it will go back down. And then it's gonna go. And then it's gonna. I'm sure it will go down. But look at Bitcoin. Look at Ethereum. But if you had jumped on Doge at 0.007 of a fucking dollar.
I mean, I did, but like I put like nothing in at the time. Like I did, but I
should have went all in.
Now I bought heavy at like 8 cents. You know, then like 0.08 cents, and then like
right. So you bought heavy at 0.08. I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I bought it because it was the only. Well, first off, I'm lazy as fuck. Right. So I'm strategic in my laziness. I'm smart within my laziness.
Okay.
Dirty Harry once said, "A great man knows his limitations." So it was the only crypto available on Robinhood that was like dirt fucking cheap, and I was like, "Well, I just sold 2 other stocks on that tactic I told you about, right? On those limit sales.
The previous episode.
Two limit sales.
Right.
Executed, and I was like, all right, I just dumped all of that into Doge at 0.007, and now here it is, fucking 0.007 to 0.4, and then down to down to 0.2, and then now it's back up to 0.4. So it's either gonna go up and then come back down, and then go up and come back down, and then go up, and then next thing you know, it's $10 a Doge, it's $100 a Doge.
Dude, I don't know, but
and that's fucking retirement.
Yes. First of all, there's been Doge millionaires made. I can promise you that.
Well, look,
Doge millionaires have been made.
Doge millionaires have been made.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
fact. I mean, I've seen stories of people putting in like $50,000 when it was at like a fraction of a cent, like 0.001 or 2 or 3. And it's like, if you'd even put $1,000 in January.
Yep. Which is what I should have done.
You'd have 40,000. If you put $10,000 in January, you'd have 400,000.
Yeah.
In 3 months. There is no stock market norm that will ever take that amount of money in that short of time and expound it that quickly. There's just no vehicle until the meme stock. This is like the ultimate GameStop like evolution of like a meme stock to like the people's coin. And so it's never been seen before. So
this is the people's coin, just like GameStop. This is the people's coin.
Right. And there's really nothing behind it. There's no like sense. It doesn't make any sense. There's no value really. You know,
but see here, here's the bottom line. If Doge drops, I only lost $200 of money that wasn't even mine to begin with, because of all the other stocks and all the investing and all the strategies I did with that. This thing skyrockets. This thing skyrockets to $1 or $10 per Doge, then that's like holy shit level.
Yeah, if that did happen, I mean, I would likely sell 25-50% of it at like $1, but if it jumped to like $10, it'd be like another 15 or 30 grand like of what I had. Like, it's crazy like how much when you buy something at like a penny stock level and then it goes to $10 in like the span of a year. Even that's like most people go in the stock market and want like a 10% return a year. We're talking about Doge doing 300% since, I don't know, like 2-3 weeks ago, and like Ethereum doing like 300% like, you know, this year. You know what I mean? Like these are crypto, and the meme stocks are just shitting on the stock market, traditional legacy. You have to wait a whole year to get 10-12%, like 200-100% is like really good. These things are so volatile, but you really want to go where the risk is if you want to make money. Now, not everybody likes it.
Look at the risk versus reward. If I lose $200, it wasn't even my money to begin with.
Right.
But if I took the house's money and I dumped it into Doge, if it turns into $200,000, then you can't shit on that. But if I lose $200, it wasn't mine to begin with. You can't shit on that either.
Right.
So that's like the crafty, you know, town fuckery. I almost wish it would drop back down to 0.007 again. So I could buy a whole fuckload more because
GameStop. Eventually GameStop's gonna do the same thing, you know what I mean? Eventually. It's gonna go back up.
It's gonna go back up, bro. GameStop.
Look, there's no way anybody knows when or how.
A brick and mortar company is gonna skyrocket again. In a strip mall.
Crazy. The whole thing is just freaking crazy. But Glenn, I hope it does go back down to 7 and you could dump that thing all over again. That'd be great.
I'm not dumping. Well,
double dip. I love double dipping. Love it.
Well, you know, dump it at $1 and then buy it again at 007 and then dump it at $1.
And if it goes to 10 the next year, all right, I'm fine with that.
See, that's gonna fucking piss me off if it goes to fucking $100 a Doge after I dumped it and I only made $500,000. I could have made $1 billion.
When's the next Doge day? I'm waiting for the next Doge day.
Just watch your
The next Doge day is May 8th, man, when Elon Musk hosts
another
SNL.
one.
That's just gonna be when everybody.
Doge day.
It's the whole Doge day thing. It just shows you how like the first time something big happens, it's like epic. The second time, it's really hard to reproduce the same thing twice. Lightning only strikes once.
Listen, man. I mean, lightning strikes multiple times. We've seen it on a lot of nature shows. We've seen lightning strike multiple times. Lightning strikes a lot. Dude, I don't know why the fuck you told me to get GameStop, and I did. And it was $14 a share. I listened. Because and my reasoning was something totally fucking different.
So was mine, by the way. It was just a crash, and the GameStop brand is a valuable brand that I feel like
I thought they were going online. I thought they were going online. Yeah, I thought they were going online like Steam
Right. That was my back.
Origin, Ubisoft, Epic.
Yeah.
I thought they were going on
basically
Unreal.
all of them except GameStop did that. So you just assume like naturally.
I assumed that was going to be their next level. Oculus. Yeah, Oculus. PS4, PlayStation Online, Xbox Online. I thought they were going online to do like an online library, like Steam, much more like Steam and Origin. And I saw it drop, and I think, and that was probably, and you suggested, and I was thinking, okay, maybe they're restructuring, and they're going to do some sort of haphazard thing like that. Lo and fucking behold, 6 months later, you just got a bunch of guys on Reddit fucking with the market.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I wasn't even aware.
They were doing that. They're doing that boiler room shit, man. They're pumping it up.
In reverse, though, in reverse order.
Right. It was the hedge funds pumping it down, and then people were just like, "Oh hell no!" People are shorting this 100, 30%, whatever it was, like more available shares shorted against that actually were in existence. People were like, "No, man, this is going to be the most godlike short squeeze of all time."
I mean,
like,
why did they choose?
Smart.
Why did they choose GameStop?
Fans,
why didn't they choose like Red Bull?
It would have been the same if like 15 years ago guys were on GeoCities doing this for Blockbuster. That's what it was. That's what GameStop is now, is what Blockbuster was 15 years ago. And you had a bunch of fanboys, nostalgic fanboys.
Yeah.
Back then, what was it? Fucking forums, GeoCities. Remember GeoCities? Remember all those Yahoo forums or whatever?
Yeah.
And motherfuckers are on there like, yo, let's start pumping into Blockbuster, man. I love Blockbuster. We can't let it go, and we're gonna fuck with the hedge funds and da 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 da. And that's why they were doing it. Number one, to fuck with the market, because these hedge funds guys,
they control everything.
We talked about it last time.
Yeah.
If you're shorting a stock, are you damaging that company?
Yes.
Yes or no answer. And last time, yes or no answer, it was yes. If you short a stock, you're damaging this company. And people were shorting the stock on GameStop, and they were like, nah, fuck that. Let's fuck with them, because probably two reasons. Number one, fuck those guys. And number two, they're nerds. They're on Reddit. Obviously, they love video games, and GameStop is probably nostalgic to them, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like Blockbuster was to us, man.
Exactly. And this whole crypto, currency craze really is reflective of last year was the best year of the stock market in a long time. And now it's transferred the energy in crypto. Man.
Dude, did you see Trevor Lawrence is putting up $24 million of his signing bonus in the crypto?
Oh yeah, I did hear about that actually. I posted about that.
$24 million.
Yep. He's like the first NFL quarterback draft pick that's signed a deal, with like a crypto brokerage or something like that. It's crazy.
He put his entire signing bonus, $24 million.
Back in 2015, yeah, dude. Back in 2015, 2016, I worked a lot of live gigs with this dude who I'm trying to get on the show, but he's so busy. He's probably rich now from Bitcoin, but that's all he talked about. Was he would put 25% of every gig's payout that we were on, he put 25% into Bitcoin. He was constantly pumping into Bitcoin. And I remember exactly, now this was 5 years ago. I remember exactly, he said Bitcoin was $8,000 a coin.
Right. That's when it started.
He was pumping into it. And that's 6 years ago. Now think about it. Now it's 55,000. So, oh, fuck. So thinking back, look how much Bitcoin rose. I mean, Doge might flop. There's all sorts of fucking cryptos out there. There's like 20 or 30 different cryptos out there.
No, there's way more than that, dude. There's probably thousands.
Fuck all that noise. But seeing Doge being greenlit on Robinhood as low as it was, I was like, this is what to jump on. Because
there was already another Doge, there was this coin called Safe Moon, that people started to like, you know, jump on just like Doge, it's gonna keep happening. You're gonna have this crazy bull run cycle. Just people are just gonna jump on stuff that doesn't make any sense. But people,
Because,
they can, enough people jump into it, they can ride it up, you know?
because look, 4,000, if you had 4,000 Bitcoin right now, you would have $220 million.
But
Just
yeah,
you just said 4 Bitcoin.
If you had 4,000 Bitcoin right
4,000.
now, you would have $220 million.
Yeah.
And that happened.
goes to show
That
you.
happened in a span of 10 years. I don't think crypto was a thing in 2010.
I think it started around then. That's when I think it started.
10, 11
around.
years.
Yeah. 10,
So
11
when
years.
so when I'm 50, potentially I could be a multimillionaire.
Yeah, based on your crypto investments today, absolutely. It's more than possible. It's definitely possible.
In 10 years. With an initial investment of $100. So what's he doing? You don't want to talk to us anymore?
No. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I mean, I've got a few thousand of like different coins right now, right? That like I believe have like a long-term like implication to like do that well. But like, yeah, it will take 10 years of marinating, 5 years of marinating, 4 years of marinating on, but then holding and having that patience, like believe in something, have the foresight to believe in it, hold it, continue to build up like that guy did with the Bitcoin. And then you don't go down to zero. It could absolutely skyrocket. You have no idea. You just gotta have conviction about something, make a decision, and then believe in it. And then really by believing in it, put your money in your mouth and keep putting more into it, right? If you really have that kind of conviction, yeah, you could absolutely be beyond wealthy in 5 or 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you guys made those investments that I suggested. But
No, I did.
Which investment were you talking about? No.
Doge.
I've got a few thousand already. I don't have like 50,000, but I've got like, enough,
Yeah. I mean, that's the key, is just financial not giving a fuck is what's key.
You know what I've realized? This is like the biggest lesson I've learned recently about investing, is that everything is diversification, is what you told at first, right? But then when you realize it's not diversification, people who don't know what they're doing, you concentrate on like positions you really believe in, and you go heavy and you build volume in those, you average into those. And then when those turn into like the Ethereums and the Bitcoins, like, then you understand that 80% of your gains are going to come from those 20%. But those 20%, you got to build those positions out big over time. You got to believe in what you're doing. You got to know why you're doing it. Do your due diligence. Like, you really got to believe in a handful, but you got to dump money into them consistently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a gamble. I mean, it is, but
yes and no. I mean, dumping money into it consistently. I mean, having like that 10% mentality. If there's that paycheck from a job, you're investing 10%. This guy, I think, was investing 25%. Single, living, very minimal living conditions, single, no kids. And his agenda was, for like a specific time. I remember him saying a very specific time was investing. But
yeah, they say time in the market beats time in the market. So, right, like right now I'm waiting on like the stock market to like get past this spring to summer phase, and like then it's gonna wake back up.
But it's not only that, because you always see a dump. You always see a skyrocket before an election. You always see a dump right after an election, and then it comes back up again. Always.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
Even if the same president is elected, reelected.
Yeah.
You see a skyrocket before you see a dump, whether it's a new president or a reelected president or brand new presidents. you see a dump, and then you see a skyrocket again.
There's literally
depending.
an infinite amount of catalysts, like from news to politics to world events to like what people are like, you know, feeling. Like there's so many things, dude, so many. It's a complex game of chess, but it's definitely better than not playing. I can tell you that. If you don't own real estate and invest, or invest in some other commodities, you're literally taking less in the American dream that is owed to you if you live in this country and you understand the vehicles that assets that do have value can bring, you know. But not being involved in the stock market because you think it's risky or you don't want to get involved.
But it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk. And I gotta disagree with Chris that it's worth the risk if, like, first off, you take a look at your lifestyle and you take a look at like how much money you dumping or were you dumping, especially now during the quarantine, because there's parties, clubs, beers, bar tabs, vacations, gas. Do you buy like expensive, bougie, name brand food, clothing, supplements, beverages, or do you get store brand? And do you shop deals? Do you look for sales? And then that's when you're able to take that 10%, that 15%, even that 20% of a salary, of a week's wage, of a month's wage, yearly
side hustle. It could be anything,
right? Anything. And so, yeah. And now, especially as this was the time, and there's a reason why that was a trend and why that blew up, because so many people had free time on their hands to get into something else. And every other person that had on the podcast was like, yeah, I'm looking at investments and stocks. And every one of them was like, I'm on Robinhood, look at it, Robinhood, Zoom and Robinhood and Zoom, Zoom and Robinhood, investing in Zoom on Robinhood. And
dude, Robinhood is where it's at, man.
Robinhood, man, Robinhood. But listen, bro, I mean,
everybody got on Robinhood, man. And
but think about how much money. Think about how much money you saved.
Hey, that GameStop took off at lightning speed, man.
Look at how much money you saved.
Hey, Donnie, if you would have been drinking your own Kool-Aid, man, you would have been retired by now, man.
You're right. I mean,
retired, you'd have been drinking your own Kool-Aid.
You're right. I mean, look.
You should have, man. You should have put up $100,000.
A lot of people came into the market last year, and I literally, because there's so much influx of new money coming in, like literally, like you never imagine like your first year like making 800%, but then when you do, you're like, oh my god, like I don't care if the stock market goes sideways for the rest of the time, like there'll be something else, whether it's a real estate. There's just opportunity everywhere, right? Like that's what that whole experience taught me. I don't care what happens in the stock market. I mean, that's what I love to do, but like, you just look in the world that you live in, like there's literally like always shit popping. There's always stuff you can get into, right? Where are you looking? Is it like where a lot of smart people are looking? Is it where smart money tends to go? Like that's where you want to start paying attention to. I didn't get into it because like I was trying to get rich. I got into it because I was annoyed at like jobs and like employers and like paychecks and being late on stuff and like taxes, like all this stuff just seemed like they're getting a good deal and I'm not. So I was just like,
you're like, I'm gonna
what
get
else
in this
is out there?
You watch Boiler Room and you're like, I'm hooked. I'm gonna get in.
I don't know what did it for me. I really don't.
It was. We were watching that fucking movie like, dude. We were watching that movie like 10 years ago, man. Come on.
No, I know, but back then I hated finance. Now I breathe it. Like I don't know what happened. I don't know how I missed this.
Dude, Wall Street came out in what, 1989, 1988?
Oh yeah, Glenn.
People would have got into it in 1988 when that movie came out.
Back then it was, yeah, that was the end of the best era of investing of all American history, the 80s, right? Until I guess the 2000 bubble. Yeah. There's some great movies about it, man. But I guess it was worse. Back then it was worse because it was just grimy. Like now there's a lot of retail investors, but people just regular folks like you and I. And like now it's like, you know, digitized, gamified, right? Robinhood and all that. It makes it fun. Like, and then you got GameStops and you got crypto now. Like the whole thing's just changed, man. It was not fun before, I can tell you. It wasn't.
Yeah, that crypto is definitely a young man's game.
Oh, it's
You know?
like giving us a chance to compete with the dogs who have everything, you know? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
But the younger generation, that's what I'm saying. The younger generation is getting more into it. Like Trevor Lawrence is what, 21 years old, 22 years old, and investing $24 million into it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can
Like
imagine
he's going all in, dude.
Influencers, how lucky they are to have the kind of money, right? So like if they did understand investing at that age, they could be retired at like 26, 27, 28, you know. What was 35? You know? Great.
Like say if he gets injured and he only in the NFL for 5 years, but he put in $24 million off the break. Do you know how much money that's going to give him in the long run?
Yeah, he won't need the NFL.
He'll be a billionaire.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see a bunch of like geeks like owning yachts and shit like that in like 5-10 years time because of crypto. And yeah, because football players and all that, they can get into it too because they're young also, you know. So it's just
and they have the money.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have the money. They have they have that signing bonus as like a 25 million signing bonus. Like nations, like small countries can be built off of $25 million.
You know, it's funny when like athletes like go broke. I'm like, how does that happen? Like, who is investing your money? Like, how do you screw up every like investment you've ever had? Houses, yeah. Like, houses. No, but some people lose money on houses. I'm like, how? How did you lose money on a house that's that, you know, expensive?
Because, well, not only buying a house that's 10 million, but then pumping another 10 million into it. And then who the fuck buys it? And then it's somewhere that no one wants to go. Like they make bad decisions within, it's usually buying property that they can't flip or is not.
Right.
You know what?
Right.
Can I tell you who was really
I'm
smart?
glad we talked about this. But go ahead.
Who was really smart with that was Vanilla Ice. He was very smart with his money. When he made all his money at the time, yeah, he bought all these mansions and rehabbed them and flipped them. That's what he did.
Okay.
Because he could do all the work himself. He didn't have to hire that many people out. I'm sure that he hired a few people because these mansions were huge, but he did mainly the work himself.
No, like so we got to get Vanilla Ice.
He would buy a property that was in terrible condition, or whatever the case may be, and he was like, "I'm going to buy this for this amount of money. I'm going to pay cash, and I'm going to fix it up myself," because he already knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
that's why he was on that Vanilla Ice project. Remember that show that came out?
Mm-hmm.
But he was fixing up those mansions that he bought in the 90s on that show. Like he had, 10 mansions and flipped them. Probably made $400,000 on each one.
I wonder what he's doing. I wonder what he's doing with the money now.
I hope he made $4 million per mansion, not 400,000.
Yeah, I would hope.
Or whatever he made.
I hope he at least doubled his profit. But it's funny you mentioned that. So me and Don, me, Dirko, and even Dirko's dad had a big, passionate disagreement about whether an automobile can be an asset versus a liability. Do you know the difference between an asset and a liability?
Yeah.
And so, of course, a house, 9 times out of 10, a house will be an asset, not a liability. It builds equity, it builds value.
Like once you take the car off the lot, you lose money off the break.
Okay. So is there in any way, shape, or form that a car could be an asset?
Yes, there is. Yeah. Because if you buy, you buy an old.
You said no at first, Dirko. So now you're saying yeah.
Oh, I know.
So you buy. Listen, you buy a I say a 1971 Chevy Nova. You rehab it.
Okay.
You get the car for say $30,000. You rehab it. You put in another 30 grand. You got that car for 60. Now that car is worth 120,000.
Yeah.
I mean, brand spanking rehab.
Yep.
The whole shebang.
Yep.
Completely rehab. Looks beautiful.
Now, Grant. Okay, so some exaggerated numbers there, but
That's not a liability. That's an asset.
That's an asset. That's an asset.
Because those classic cars hold their values, just like Corvettes. You know, even Honda Accords hold their value. Like if you have a Honda Accord, they hold their value for a long time.
So here was the argument I had with Dirko and his dad, right? I said, okay, if I drive Uber and I have this car and I'm doing real well with Uber and my profit is better than my expenditures, then that's an asset because it's a tool, right? You know, I go to Home Depot and I buy a C wrench and a Phillips head and a flathead, and I go do AV gigs, and I only spend $15 on those tools. But having tools gets me $400 to $500 to $600 a day gigs, and I make fucking, you know, 120,000 that year off of spending $15. Those tools are an asset. Same with a car, right? With Uber or being a courier or whatever, right? So that's an asset. But finally,
yeah, I think it's meant more. I think it's meant more for like when you buy like a McLaren, like that's this losing money, like gobs of money. You know what I'm saying?
Good
like,
point.
A bike is like an asset.
Yeah.
Car is, you know what I'm saying? But I hear
so here's one way that little tiny little bucket of a blue Mitsubishi Mirage turned into an asset for me. So January 2020, I go buy this thing for $10,900. Okay, monthly payments of whatever the fuck it was. And then quarantine hits. So obviously I'm not using the car all that much, except for when I'm certainly not using it for gigs like I was with the Envoy. And now, but then, so quarantine, not much mileage on it, not much use out of it, except for groceries, daycare, things of that nature. And now that I got this big gig in Colorado, I sold it because I won't need it out here. I take it back to CarMax. They appraise it at 10,000. They pay off my loan. They write me a check for the balance. That balance is pretty much pays me back the fucking monthly payments I made the past year. But
you got a free car, man.
Basically, I rented a fucking car for say $200 a month. Here's the upside to that. Here's how it's an asset. The profit was my credit score is skyrocketed. Right. That's the profit. That's how that car was an asset, not a liability.
So it's an investment into your buying a home, let's say, right? Yeah, good
right. Yeah. First hand, a car can be an asset in so many ways.
It can be. The exception can make the rule for sure. Absolutely. No. Just generally speaking, you go out and buy a car.
The exception is the rule.
In this case, yeah, there are ways. Like that's sad. Like that's super savvy what you did there. You know, like, that's a great way to make it an asset. It's just generally most people don't. They're like, how am I gonna make car payments? Like, don't have a fucking car payment. Buy a shitty used car. Like that kind of thing should be like the number one thing that you think about. Like when you talk about liability for a car, a car, if you're bringing in money. In your case, you brought in money. You broke even, and your credit's going up, and you can leverage that up into a house or whatever. Like you didn't lose any money. People who are just paying $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 a year, that's 10 G's that you're losing. You're never going to see that money ever again. It's just going to lend you a ride for 3 years. That's what I'm talking about. It's a shit deal. And car dealerships just clean up with that shit, man. clean house with those
Well,
deals.
they're cleaning up. I don't know how the fuck they're cleaning up. They must be taking a vig off of the bank loans car note.
Yeah, for sure. They're splitting the profit for sure.
Gotta be, because they probably made some money off of my car note.
Right.
But it was like a year.
Yeah.
So the interest on that would have been
It's interest. It's all interest.
$20 a month for 14 months. $20 a month, 14 months. $20 a month, 14 months. That's $280. If they're splitting it, then they made $140 over the last year.
I don't know how that. Yeah, that car is. I don't know how you did that, to be honest, because
because they appraise it. If they
don't make money off of used cars, that's the problem.
Who doesn't?
Dealership.
CarMax. That's all CarMax does is used cars.
Well,
maybe they do new cars.
They try to do newer used cars, right? Because then it's less of a liability. I don't know.
I don't think they do new cars.
No, they just do.
Used cars.
It's used. It's all used. It's all used. But I think
they'll do an appraisal. They'll do an appraisal. They'll go by Blue Book value, probably drop.
Because you got your truck from there.
I got my truck from CarMax, and so selling it, they'll probably tack on a couple grand. Selling it,
but you got. Did you trade it in, or you got rid of it outright?
The truck for the truck for the Mitsubishi was essentially a trade-in, but I got like nothing really for the truck. It went toward the truck went towards a down payment.
Yeah,
we did all those road trips on that truck.
Yeah,
definitely got your money's worth.
Yeah, I definitely got my money's worth, man. I mean, we had a blast.
Did you take it to Belmar?
You got to bring the Suzuki up to Fort Lee.
We did take the truck to Belmar.
Yeah, we gotta make a trip out to Fort Lee, man.
We did take the truck to Belmar, didn't we?
He's only 8 miles away from the Rotten Apple.
We could do both, Belmar, Fort Lee,
Belmar. God, what a shit show that was. Belmar.
Let's reminisce.
Hey, you know what? I haven't even thought about that trip in years. And it's just like I was watching Jersey Shore the other day. I've been watching all these episodes of all these reality shows, like Jersey Shore, Floribama Shore, all these old reality shows.
Yeah.
Back, and I was like, remember that trip to Belmar? I was like, what a shit show. Oh my God. I haven't thought about that trip in like 10 years. I know you remember that trip, Don.
What did we do that weekend? I'm trying to place it.
It was Memorial Day weekend. Remember we came, it was me, you, Glenn, Keith, and that other dude that lived in New York. He lived in Brooklyn. I forget his name. He went to Towson University.
Chintok, Mitten, those two. Bruce?
No, it was a friend of Glenn's. A old college buddy. And we got wrecked like that first night. We had like a fifth of vodka.
Where did we stay?
We stayed at this shitty hotel, and we had 4 of us crammed in that room. 4 or 5. I think there was 5 of us that were in that room, man. And we all went out the first night, and I couldn't get in. I couldn't get into the club. It was kind of like Karma off of Jersey Shore. That one club. There was a whole bunch of Jersey douchebags.
Right.
Like Guidos.
I can't believe we don't have footage of like everything that we've ever done at this point. Like Nelson.
I think Nelson took footage of that.
Better
that
have.
whole weekend.
Better have.
It was back before all of us had iPhones.
Right. That's what it was. Yeah. Good times though. I know that. I remember Belmar as being like the butt of a joke for a long time, but I just can't I don't even remember anymore what we did. But what year was this? Like 2007,
It had to be.
8?
No, I don't. I thought it was like 2010, maybe.
Okay. All right.
I mean, this was good, like 10, 11
Before
years
I moved,
ago.
before I moved to New York, and maybe after my first
No,
time.
you were living in New York because everybody met because you guys took the train. Remember, from
Right.
from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. I just moved to New York, probably. Yeah.
And it was like a 45-minute train ride from New York to Belmar.
Was Balin in Belmar? Is that why did we go there? Who was there?
I don't know. We just chose Belmar. We're like, we wanted to go to we wanted to go to the Jersey Shore.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Belmar was close to you guys because none of you fuckers had a car.
Right.
And you could just hop on the train and meet us in Belmar. And Glenn was like, yeah, sure, let's go to Belmar.
Well, he wanted to go to Jersey Shore for like his birthday.
Right.
And he wanted to go to Jersey Shore for his birthday. And then okay. But we were also in the middle of shooting that Below the Rim. And he wanted to like shoot some bits for his tennis club. And so this fucking, grimy little piece of shit.
Hey.
He's like, hey, if you guys come to my house like a couple hours before we go to Belmar and film me at the tennis club, I'll pay for your room. So we get to his house. He goes, Don's fucking everything up. I'm like, what's Don got to do with it? He's like, Don's not even ready. And I'm like, bro, it's 2 p.m. Don we're not planning on being at Belmar till like the evening of today. It's 2 p.m. We're gonna go to the tennis court. And he goes, man, Don's got me all fucked up, man. We can't shoot anything. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll meet you at Belmar then. And so we get there and
makes it sound like it's my girlfriend or something, man.
But see, this was Keith's trying to like, this was his sneaky way of like trying to getting out of paying for shit, getting out of shit like that. And because
he did that shit in New Jersey too.
He did that shit all the fucking time.
When we went to Atlantic City, remember?
He did that shit.
I gotta teach this.
I gotta get up. It doesn't count for a full night. I don't have to split the room with you if it doesn't count for a full night. If I get up at 4 a.m. and I'm like, who the fuck? What the fuck? And so we get to his house and he's like, I can't film anything. Oh, and I'm like, all right. So automatically I know he's trying to like not film something so that he doesn't have to pay more for the room because he's going to need us to like chip in for his room. And so I'm like, all right, we'll meet you at Belmar. And so we get to Belmar and they're like, well, so he reserved the room, but when we got there, the lady's like, we need a credit card. And I called up Keith and I put him on speaker. I was like, hey, they need a credit card. And he goes, don't you have one? I'm like, don't you have one? Like, I'm about to leave.
Right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let you handle this, Keith. So he put the room on his card. And so then like later on, he goes, I'm gonna need your portions of the room. And I'm like, we came for the commercial. We didn't shoot anything. I'm like, no, we came. So you're gonna cover us, right? Because we were there. You weren't ready. That's not our issue. We came, me and Chris came to your house hours before we came here to shoot that commercial, and in return, you'd cover our room. He's like, bro, I turned down some gigs. I'm like, dude, what is with you and your fucking tennis teaching schedule and your coaching schedule and your gigs and you getting, this $50 from a kid versus, like your life schedule. Like if you need to work. If you can afford to party. But like, no, man, you said we drove up here ready to shoot something before. And then like he pulled me aside. He goes, dude, I just wanted like a weekend, just you and me to like talk stuff and like work on this documentary and work on the scout tapes and work on the tennis commercials. I'm like, no, you didn't. Why the fuck did you invite Alex and Don then? And I told you I was bringing Chris, and you were cool with that. And then you go and get a shitty fucking hotel room where like they're counting how many people are going in the room. Like what fucking hotel? What fucking hotel counts? Okay, you're in room 203, and that's on the second floor. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. Nope, stop. There's only 4 per room. I'm like, what the fuck? Get a fucking get a fucking get a fucking Marriott. Get a fucking Marriott. Who the fuck's counting us at a Marriott? 17 of us go into that fucking room. Fucking, you know, dirt bag, bro. Like,
that's bailing.
well, cut it short. As you can see, I have no light. It's sunset over here. I'm sure it's, what is it, 10 over there?
Yep, it's 10. Yep.
So what's next? So TECHFALL. What's next on the agenda for TECHFALL?
Just continue to work on some tracks and just keep grinding out. And you know, it's the weather's beautiful, man. So I've been doing a lot of stuff outdoors, doing some biking, getting my fitness up to par, getting out there and doing a lot more exercising, and you know, just enjoying the spring. And getting through this pandemic, and getting ready for the summer is pretty much that's what I'm doing. You know, just staying positive, staying focused, and go on to the next thing. We just got done shooting Rogues Gallery season 3 and 4, and Sinister Infinite. So I'm excited about that.
Sinister Infinite 3 and 4. We got finished shooting that a couple. Shit, we wrapped Sinister season 4 like April 9th. Season 3 of Rogues is edited and scheduled for release starting July 1st. And then we're going to go into Sinister season 3, and then Rogue season 4, and then Sinister season 4. But Rogue season 3, I've been editing over here. So Rogue season 3 is scheduled for release starting July 1st, 2021. Dead on Pictures. No, July 2nd. It's the first Friday of July. So I think that's July 2nd. On the YouTube channel, on the same channel. Yeah.
And of course, Don's video like froze up for like 2 seconds with a shitting grin.
Is that it? Is that it, Chris? Anything else? TECHFALL, MC TECHFALL?
No, that's it, man.
I've been showing everybody. Did he freeze, or is he just really good at? Oh, okay, he did freeze.
He's freezing like this.
Well,
it continues.
What's next?
I don't know what the Wi-Fi situation is in Fort Lee, New Jersey, but
there is no Wi-Fi situation over there.
He's got dial-up.
Look, man, fucking have it all.
Fucking 56K dial-up.
It's like living in the desert up here.
I had better Wi-Fi over here in the desert.
Hey, so what's going on with the EDM scene in New York, man?
I mean, you know, it's funny that there are actual parties going on all the time now. Like every weekend there's a party going on that I know about. So people are going out and going to them. I don't think they say that like they require masks, but like on the low, it's not really like that.
I mean, where are these parties? Where are these parties located?
In the city, mostly, like in New York, So you gotta get into the city, but
like Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens.
Probably Manhattan and Brooklyn mostly. Yeah. But there's stuff going down, man. People are itching to make money, and like you said it. What you said about what you're doing in the next phase of your life is probably what everyone's doing. I mean, everyone's trying to work on their fitness. Everyone's trying to like stay positive, go back to like a good routine, because shit, I mean, what's going on now, like it's crazy. Like,
I mean, it messed up a lot of people's mental health during this whole pandemic, so I think people were getting back into their mental wellness and getting a lot of sun also helps with that.
Yeah.
Just being out and about, and things are starting to go back to normal on some type of level, but it's not.
Yeah. Whatever
It's still going to take a while, but I definitely see. They're not as strict as they were before. Right. I'm sure Ocean City is going to be a lot more lenient this summer than it was last summer. But I don't know what it's going to be like during Memorial Day weekend, because that's like one of their biggest weekends of the year. So that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out.
Yeah, we should talk about maybe doing a trip out there or something. But yeah,
another road trip.
Zombie Squad making another road trip.
Speaking of Zombie Squad, I've been showing a bunch of people the excess energy drink infomercial over here in Colorado, showing a lot of people the excess commercial.
Dude, I've been watching this. I've been watching this show called Party Down South. It was a reality show. It's on Pluto TV. And guess where they're filming that shit at? Merle's Inlet. And they're at the Wicked Tune-Up, where Don was rocking that sports jacket. Remember that?
Sweating his balls off.
That dive bar.
Yeah. Love that.
Best time ever. What is it called? Party Down South?
Shout out.
Party Down South.
Okay.
It's kind of like a spin-off of Jersey Shore, because after Jersey Shore they had Floribama Shore. Now they have this Party Down South, which it's people living together in a house.
Right.
Kind of like Jersey Shore, but then it's like off the chain.
It's like, South.
They're like drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels, like straight up with no chase.
Myrtle.
Dude, that was such a good time, man.
Myrtle.
I love the Merle's Inlet, man.
Yeah, it was good.
We got to go back. Yeah.
Good
time, man. Carolinas, man.
That's definitely on the agenda. Dirko, what's next on the agenda for you?
Oh man. I'm just so got my money and my mind and my mind and my money. It's just this year I want to break free, man. I want to break free of the shackles. I want to break free of the chains. I don't want bosses. I'm already working for myself, but
man, you can't let the man hold you down, brother.
I feel like, I'm in this cage and I need to just wreck it, dude. And like, this is the 2020 year. It's going to be the year for me to do that. But yeah, man, just focus on, sound money investment decisions and focus on, getting my mental health back in order and trying to really, again, focus down on some business opportunities that will allow me to just not regret leaving work and matching that income and, just siphoning back and being like, oh, I got time. I think I want to be a filmmaker like Glenn Nelson and just do that for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Or have the time to at least make that choice. So that's the goal. Anyway, we all got dreams.
He's trying to be like you, Nelson.
I'm trying to be like Nelson over there. I'm trying to be up in the desert.
Up in the desert, Colorado, fucking on the border. Desert, eating sand every day. Well, gentlemen, it was a blast. So glad to have you on again, and we're gonna keep doing these roundtables. Good catching up. A lot of things coming down the pike, like Tech said, Rogues and Sinister, and always revamping this podcast one way or another, and trying to do our best to make it entertaining and yet consistent. Consistency as well as quality. Consistency and quality. Consistency is like the hardest part, but it is. Well, gentlemen, it was a blast. Tech, any plugs?
Yeah, check me out on IG at Zombie Squad 211. Check me out on Facebook, Zombie Squad 211. Check us out on our website, www.deadonpictures.com. Check out our merch page. New music coming out, so links to that will be out shortly. And that's it. That's all I got.
Dirko, any plugs?
Just the Dead On Pictures, just the Zombie Squad. Nothing really to plug right now. This is the kind of a bunker down moment for me. But yeah, man, just check out Patience of the Podcast. If y'all feel like checking out some great podcasts, go to the merch store and buy some merchandise from the Dead On Pictures merchandise store. Go ahead and check out some of the sports nutrition, some of the health and wellness products also available on the Dead On Pictures store.
Yep. Shop away. Well, you heard it here. You heard it here. To everybody else, I hope we've earned the privilege of your time and viewership. I know these two have, and until next time, you know what to do. To the viewers out there, if you want to become an honorary member of the Zombie Squad, send me some, hit me up on any of the socials. Send me the name that you want to be credited as a honorary member of Zombie Squad. Send me your favorite 1 or 2 profile pictures, avatars, what have you, your profile pictures on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and we can squad you up. I will make you an honorary member of the Zombie Squad, and I'll design all this stuff. I'll design a t-shirt, I'll design your logo, your whole Zombie Squad kind of profile if you want to be an honorary member of Zombie Squad, and give you the options to buy a t-shirt, to buy a phone case, to buy a pillow, to buy a tapestry, to buy a hoodie, to whatever the hell you want. But if you want to be an honorary member of the Zombie Squad, let me know. And
but they got to put in the work though.
All they have to do is send me 1 or 2 of their profile pics, and they'll be an honorary member of the Zombie Squad.